I am 83 years old. It might shock you to hear this, but there are 6 types of people, some of them even your closest family members, who are quietly ruining the peaceful years of your old age. We spend our entire youth working hard, assuming that retirement will naturally bring the rest we earned. But the brutal reality is that peace doesn't just happen. If you don't learn to shut your door right now, the very people you love and protect will gladly consume every ounce of energy you have left. I am Henry, and today I want to warn you about these 6 hidden thieves of your peace, before your quiet years turn into a silent prison. The first type of person you must avoid is the critic. For 50 years as a carpenter, I believed any broken thing could be fixed with enough patience. I foolishly applied that logic to my neighbor, Arthur, who constantly criticized my life after my wife passed. One afternoon, as I lovingly restored her old oak rocking chair, Arthur walked into my workshop, shook his head, and said, "You're wasting energy, Henry. Just throw it out." Looking at my calloused hands, the logic finally connected. Arthur wasn't trying to help. He was projecting his own emptiness onto my peace. I simply smiled and said, "I'm happy with it, Arthur." That was the day I stopped trying to fix his opinion of me. The second type of person you must avoid is the ungrateful one. These people accept your kindness as if it's a debt you owe them. For years, I used my carpentry skills to fix broken furniture for neighbors without charging a dime, thinking I was being a good friend. One winter, I spent days restoring a heavy oak dining table for an old acquaintance. When I delivered it, he didn't even say thank you. Instead, he grumbled, "Took you long enough, Henry. Hope it doesn't wobble." That's when I realized your kindness is a gift, not an obligation. I quietly packed my tools and never offered my help again. The third type of person you must avoid is the chronic victim. These people are trapped in endless misfortunes of their own making, using your energy as a dumping ground for their complaints. My old friend, George, was exactly like this. Every single day, he came to my workshop to lament about his poor health, his ungrateful children, and his bad luck. He never actually wanted solutions. He just wanted to drag me into his gray world. One evening, after listening to his bitter rants for 2 hours, I felt completely drained, unable to even lift my tools. That's when I realized you can offer sympathy, but you are not an obligation to be a trash can for someone else's toxic energy. I calmly told him I had to finish my work and stepped back. The fourth type of person you must avoid is the self-absorbed narcissist. These people treat your presence as an audience, not a friendship. My brother-in-law, Richard, was a textbook example. Every time he visited my workshop, the conversation was a one-way street. He spent hours bragging about his investments, his golf games, and his achievements, never once asking how I was managing after my retirement. If I tried to share a memory of my late wife, he would immediately cut me off to talk about himself again. That's when I realized a relationship that makes you feel completely invisible is just a slow form of isolation. I started limiting our interactions, refusing to let him drain my remaining time just to feed his ego. The fifth type of person you must avoid is the irresponsible one. These people never carry their own weight and constantly rely on you to fix their self-made chaos. For a long time, my nephew, Leo, was my biggest weakness. He would bounce between jobs and constantly ask to borrow from my retirement pension, always promising just until next month. Uncle Henry. I kept bailing him out, losing sleep, and stressing over his bills while he lived carelessly. That's when I realized love is not endless rescue. Sometimes, stepping back is the only way to let them face their own consequences and grow. I finally told him I could only offer advice, no more money, and forced him to stand on his own feet. The sixth and most painful type of person you must avoid is the manipulator. This is the hardest boundary to set because it often involves your own children. For years, my daughter used guilt to treat my retirement savings as her personal bank account. She always had an emergency that only I could fix. Out of fear of being an unloving father, I kept giving until I nearly lost my home. But when stress landed me in a hospital bed, she visited for 10 minutes, checked her watch, and left. That's when I realized love doesn't mean letting someone destroy you. I calmly said, "I love you, but my love for you doesn't mean I will abandon myself." That was the day I took my life back. I do not hate any of them. I only regret the years I spent forgetting that my own peace had a price. At 83, you learn that protecting your boundaries isn't selfish. It's the ultimate act of self-respect. You have carried enough weights in this life. Now, it's your turn to choose relationships that lift you rather than drain you. Tell me, which of these 6 people is standing at your door right now? Comment the number 1 through 6 below. Subscribe to join me on this porch, and let's live the rest of our days strictly on our own terms. Thank you for listening.